Hi. People enjoy solving Rubik's Cubes as fast as possible, timing their solves, and keeping track of those times. I kept track of every solve I did in the year 2021, and in this video I'm going to look at those solves to see how much improvement took place. Why? Because wasting time is fun, and maybe I can inspire you to do this with your solves as well, so that you may waste your life as much as I am right now. I use a website called CS Timer to time my solves and keep track of my averages. Unfortunately, I have my solves from 2021 split into two different files, and I spent 10 billion years trying to combine them, but there is no way to do that with the very advanced and has many fun features website that is CS Timer. So thanks. We will have to look at the two files separately. So the first file contains 31,955 solves, which were done from January 6th to July 25th, 2021. The average of all these solves is 8.60. Then, the second file contains 31,981 solves, which were done from July 29th to December 31st, 2021. The average of all these solves is 8.32. So if you combine the two sessions, the total amount of solves I did in 2021 was 63,936. That's an average of 175 solves per day. And if you do these calculations, you can get a rough estimate for the average of the entire year, 8.46. Here are the best averages as of July 25th and December 31st. Side note, most of the averages of 25 and fewer I uploaded to my YouTube channel, if watching a bunch of boring solves interests you. You can see that in the second half of the year, I beat every single average except for mean of 3. My best average of 10,000 solves was 8.19, which was done over a period of 3 weeks in August. This was when I made my 1,000 solves per day video, and I'm guessing that I was able to get this, partially because of the high amount of solves I did in a short period of time. The year's last average of 10,000, 8.41, was done over a period of 2 months, so I guess it's harder to be consistently good for that long, especially if I'm not doing as many solves. Plus my cubes got worse, so yeah, nice excuses. Now we can use a website called Quebico Cubing to look at more stuff. First, we'll look at the average of 1,000 progression. I actually went over this same graph in my year-long cubing session video, but I guess I'll explain it again. The average started so high because in June 2020, I learned a bunch of new F2L algorithms, and it took a long time for my average to get back down to normal. But once it got down to about 8.6, it just stayed around there for several months. Then if we go to the second file, my average in the month of August went down to about 8.2. But then, I decided to do the 1,000 solves per day video, and everything went downhill.
Or up, as the case may be.
I actually think it's entirely justified to blame my bad cubes for this, because sure, my cubes being bad made my average go from 8.2 to 8.4, which doesn't seem like much, but it's not fun to do cubing sessions with a bad cube, so that demotivated me from practicing, which in turn led to me not improving at all for the rest of the year. Sure, I probably should have tried to figure out how to set up my cubes properly so they would be good again, so that aspect of it is my fault, but whatevs. So to summarize this part of the graph, the average was around 8.2 during August, and then 8.3 during September, didn't cube much in October, and about 8.5 in November. I had about 2 weeks in December where I did a ton of solves in an attempt to improve, so that pushed my average down to 8.2, but then I kinda gave up for the rest of the month, and the final average of 1,000 was 8.35. I spent way too long trying to combine these two graphs, but here you go. This shows the average of 1,000 progression for the entire year. I drew lines because drawing lines is fun. I drew a bigger line because drawing a bigger line is fun. It basically shows that I improved from 9.0 to 8.2, but I don't really count that because I was averaging 8.3 in April of 2020. Like I explained earlier, I had a huge setback related to learning a ton of algorithms all at once. But still, looking at a line is fun. Time to look at this histogram which shows when I did my solves. How many solves did I do each month? It usually ranged from about 2,000 to 7,000 solves per month. Except for August, where I did 13.6 thousand solves. 6,000 of those were for the 1,000 solves a day video, so that's a big reason why. And here's the solves per day for the first 7 months and the last 5 months. There's August again, and here's the 1,000 solves per day video, and here's that period in December when I was actually trying. I just realized why I did so many solves in August. That's when my summer classes ended. I can use this histogram to count the number of sub-6 solves, so I got 678 sub-6 solves in 2021. Nice. That means that I got a sub-6 solve about once out of every 100 solves. Of those, I got 19 4s and 2 3s, so I got 1 4 about every 3,400 solves, and I got 1 3 about every 32,000 solves. Nisei job. Here are the 3s because why not? Oh, whoops, this is the narration footage, not the 3s. One sec. Here we go. And here's my 348 from 2020 because who cares? Here is every sub 5 solve I got this year. Very, very nice job. And that is all the interesting stuff I could find about the solves I did in 2021. What can we learn from an activity as useless as this? Firstly, I am terrible at cubing because my average basically just went from 8.6 to 8.2 in an entire year. Secondly, I should really try setting up my cubes better because if I actually had good cubes, I would be motivated to practice more, and I probably would have improved my average to being sub 8. Thirdly, getting good at Rubik's Cubes and making videos about them is a massive waste of time, but I guess cubing is an activity I enjoy doing, so do stuff that you enjoy? Anyways, that's it for this video. Feedback would be really appreciated. Hopefully this wasn't boring. Goodbye.